Hello everyone, and welcome to your second royal reading today here at MadWorldTarot. I am reading on stories that are making my blood boil a bit today. Emotional blackmail kind of stories, that's how I'm describing them anyway. That's how they're landing for me. Which is why I have the Shadowland on the tarot table today. It's dark energy, it's projection, it's bad behavior, it's stuff that's not even conscious. As I say, with the projection stuff, it reads for me very well when I'm looking at Harry and his kind of manipulative behavior. And so we have the story that has come out in the past few days. It's Heartbroken Harry. And it's telling us the real reason why Harry is allowing his children's faces to be shown on Instagram. Finally, he was completely opposed to it for a very long time. But now apparently this is a last resort that he is... well, you resort to a last resort, don't you? I can't think of another word. But this is coming, I think it's from the Daily Mail, this story, and it's telling us that Harry is completely heartbroken, according to an insider close to the family. And it tells us that his dad, no mention of King Charles, so I think we can guess who the insider is. His dad refuses to see him or the kids, not even on Zoom. So this is a last resort. Harry is desperately hoping the king might see a picture of Archie or Lily and realize what he's missing. He's tried everything, calls, letters, but nothing's working. Of course, the one thing he hasn't tried to do is apologize, promise that he'll never do another interview or write another book, that he will be silent and discreet from now on and forevermore, so that the royals can rebuild some trust with him. No, not going to do that. So, as I say, I'm quite sure that the insider is right inside Mudslide Mansion in Montecito. And these new disruptors, this new PR team, I think has been set to work with these kinds of very manipulative stories that really put the royals on the spot and paint them in a very bad light. Because this is, oh, poor Harry, he's tried everything. But the, hard-hearted king refuses to relent and have anything to do with his grandchildren. We've also just heard, and I shall mention just by the way, that Harry is allegedly in therapy, bad dad therapy, to break the, what did he call it? I think he called it genetic pain, of course, from Charles's terrible parenting. So Harry is now making sure that he doesn't repeat the same dreadful mistakes that Charles made as a parent. So as I said, very manipulative. I find it incredibly offensive, disrespectful, upsetting, going really all-out attacks on the king, painting the king in a very bad light, putting him in a very difficult position without any ownership of the real reasons why this relationship has collapsed in the first place. So I might get a bit steamed up again while I'm doing this reading. A little 6-card reading. I've chatted enough. And we're going to look and we're going to see what this insider is up to, just generally. We're going to ask if Harry really believes that by showing his children's faces, the king is going to be struck with a pang of regret and phone them up and say, all is forgiven, you can come and live at Windsor Castle. We're going to ask how the king feels reading stories like this or hearing about stories like this. I'm sure he is told, every day there's probably a list of this is what they've done now. And we're going to ask what the disruptor is really up to in terms of a goal. We're going to just generally ask what the disruptor or who the disruptor is. Goals, I'm thinking, could be a money thing, they're broke. Could be that she's putting out a clothing range involving kids and needs them to say that they're Prince and Princess Archie, and he has them on a Zoom call with the king. Or trying to preempt King William when he one day accedes to the throne and, puts a big line through the park halls, and they're done and they're finished, and the kids are done and finished. And then is she going to succeed? I'm going to call the insider Meghan Markle. That's my personal opinion. And of course, this is just tarot for fun and entertainment. And it is just my personal opinion and wild speculation. We just read energy here and disclaimer in the box below. So let's see what we have. I was trying not to laugh. The Devil. Emotional manipulation, toxicity, being tied to a situation that is very difficult, very damaging, lies, deception, rage, betrayal, any of those things applies to the Devil energy. Just generally, you can pick and choose whatever energy you think is underpinning any or all of those apply here. And it's materialism as well. So money, money, money. Very dominant energy in that Devil for me as I'm looking at it in this particular reading. So let's have a look at the actual situation we're dealing with. Story about heartbroken Harry and his last resort. The Hierophant in reverse. It's the king. It's the king in his position as king. Head of state. Head of the church as well. Yeah, we won't go there today. In reverse, undermining that, breaking down his status, undermining his status. It's rule-breaking energy as well. It's the rebels. It's on the sidelines, throwing rocks at the carriage as it goes past, hoping that you'll score a direct hit and somehow you'll ruin the whole thing. That's how it's reading for me. It's very childish energy that's coming through, interestingly. The Hierophant is also the teacher of the tarot, just by the way. And this very childish energy is coming as immature, petulant, brattish energy that just wants to destroy for the sake of destroying, not realizing what this institution actually represents, what the king actually represents, the difficult position that he is in as head of state and also as father. The late queen had the same difficulties, that she always had to put her duty first as queen and put the family second. It's there and it's not understood in Montecito. Harry doesn't understand it at all. I doubt very much that the therapist he's seeing to break this bad dad thing understands it either. So I'm finding this quite upsetting. Major arcana here, the Devil, and then the Hierophant is the Pope traditionally in tarot. Isn't it interesting we have them both on the tarot table? My goodness. If you don't think that this story with the royals is archetypal, well, here it is. Here is tarot saying to you, oh yes, this is archetypal. I used to say that all the time in my little disclaimer. I stopped saying it, but I'm going to say it here. This is archetypal. And that's why we do these readings. So let's talk about the little insider and what, in my opinion, she and her disruptors are up to. What's going on with the insider? Just generally, what do we have here? We've got the King of Pentacles, and it's in reverse. This is really undermining Harry as well, because Harry is the King of Pentacles, and Harry's been the one who has consistently said, over my dead body, will you put those children on social media, show their faces? This is a hell no. That was his line in the sand, and she held to it until she disappeared from the Invictus Games in Canada at the start of this year. She rushed back to Montecito and she went on Instagram. And the first thing she did on Instagram was show her children, or shall we say Harry's children, rather than her children. Yes, little hands, little back of head, that sort of a thing. But it was while he was caught up with the Invictus Games, while he was far, far away. Boops, there it was. And she's been at it and at it and at it ever since. She's been pushing and pushing and pushing, in my opinion. But I don't think I need to say allegedly, because we just have to look at her Instagram accounts and see what's going on, and how she has eroded and eroded and eroded that position of Harry's. There it is, quite literally undermining the King of Pentacles. He is the head of the family, like the king is the head of the royal family and the state, and she, the Devil, is undermining both of them in this reading. Did I say it was archetypal? Let's move on to the King of Pentacles in reverse, the has-been. How does he feel about this? Does he buy this story? Oh, well, if we show their faces, the king will be struck with such a pang of regret that, he'll pay for security so that we can go and visit and go and spend summer at Balmoral. Is he falling for it? How does he feel? It's gone very dark as I'm doing this reading. The Hanged Man in reverse. That's an interesting card because it's about perspective. It's about seeing things differently and about being powerless when the card is upright, but getting a bit of your mojo back when the card is in reverse. For me as a reader, I read it as simplistically as possible. Otherwise, these royal readings are just impossible to penetrate for me live here on YouTube. I do have my moments where I can't quite figure things out, but as I'm saying, I've simplified things so that the readings are, the connection between me and up there is as clear as possible. That for me tells me that Harry is seeing things a whole lot clearer than he used to when it comes to little Miss Markle and her stratagems and her manipulation and what she gets up to. So I don't think he's falling for it. Put it that way. I don't think he's falling for it. I think that he sees through what she's up to, but I think also he has lost all agency. I think it's too late for him to actually lay down the law with this thing. He's lost his agency. All this time that he's been disempowered, that he's been hoodwinked even, because it's Neptunian energy and you don't see what's going on when you're in a strong Neptunian energy. He's seeing it now. It's too late. That's how it's reading for me. Okay, so let's move on to the king. And how does the king feel when he's told over his cornflakes that this is what they're up to today? They are menacing and threatening and trying to make you look bad and make you relent and pay for the security. I'm reading that in. It's not what the article said, but it's obvious to me that this is really what's going on. How does the king feel about all of this? And, he's fed up. Same energy as I got in the previous reading. Temperance card in reverse. He is fed up with this. It's patience when it's upright and angelic energy and wanting to heal and wanting harmony in your life. And he just sees this constant aggression, this constant undermining. He sees it. He understands it. He's fed up with it. This is not going to change his mind. It's not going to make him suddenly forgive and forget and pay for everything and open the doors of Windsor Castle, or the gates of Windsor Castle, and say, in you come. My kingdom is your kingdom. So what is her goal, our insider? What is our insider's goal, really, with this little Heartbreak Hotel piece that we've just read about and showing the children's faces? What does she really want right now? And we want Queen of Cups, and Queen of Cups is also manipulative energy. It's Mummy Diana energy. I don't really think it's Mummy Diana energy as such in here. She wants to look like a good mother. And why does she want to look like a good mother? She wants emotionally tapped in, supportive, nurturing, empathetic, all of those things that she is not inherently, in my opinion, allegedly, but she tries to come across as this, and it's why we all view her as inauthentic, or many of us do, because she's not naturally empathetic. But she tries to pretend she is. She tries to do her Diana stuff, Diana too. She wants to do it because she's learning, allegedly, we've heard this from various sources, her new PR team has actually managed to explain to her that she's universally loathed. That's my expression, but that's the gist of what they've finally managed to get through to her. And that if she's going to stand a chance of being successful, she's got to work on this kid angle. That it's only through her children that she has a hope of becoming popular again, of being an influencer, of monetizing, of any of those things. So it's about the money. It's not about, for me, it's about the money anyway. Energy reading, my opinion. It's not about trying to preempt anything that William might do down the line. This is more immediate. This is now. And this is now. And I keep getting this. And this is now because I think that there is something coming with the children. I'm getting like a clothing range or something like that, but it could be more basic than that. It could be a Hello magazine spread or one of those tabloids that don't exist in the United States that suddenly is going to pay $1 million for the first reveal of Archie and Lilibet's faces to make her popular and to make her look like a good mother. So there we have it. Is she going to succeed? Is the stratagem going to succeed? And turning the tide for her, not at all. Strength card in reverse. My goodness, it's black as night outside as I'm doing this reading. The sun was shining when I started. And this great cloud is now hovering over my house. Strength card in reverse. Hope you can see through the gloom. I can't scramble under the tarot table and put the light on just right now. Strength card in reverse, that's her energy. She's a Leo. It's Leo card in reverse. It's not going to work out. Her brand is I think fatally damaged at this stage, and so she's going to come across looking weak, feeble, pathetic, also quite nasty, quite vicious, because strength is about taming yourself, your baser instincts, and in reverse allowing those to run riot. And here we've got it. We've got this emotional, what I'm calling blackmail. It's a very manipulative story. It's a very ugly story. And I think that people are wise to her stratagems right now. I think even Harry has woken up to them at this point. They're not going to work. The king certainly sees through it. I think the public sees through it. And it's not going to stop her, though. Of course, not at this point. We might have to look at what will eventually stop her. Again in the next few days. But there it is. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again tomorrow.